doing? Man, it looks reasonable. Let's do it. So Esper mid-range here. This is, I'm kind of interested to try this deck out. So we've talked about how I've liked the core of Esper cards in a lot of different shells, but I haven't been a fan with, like, the hero shells that people have been, like, shoehorning Esper into for mid-range. And I kind of like what this deck is doing. It's got just some good cards in it. We've got some aggressive starts with the Knights into History of Benalia. And then we've just like, a collection of other good standard playable cards in here. So I'm actually going to play this one in the ranked Q2, especially after the beating we took with the Jeskai aggro deck. I want to try and pull ourselves back up. And, like, the overlap test that this deck has, I feel is reasonable. Like, if you look at the cards this deck is playing that other good decks in the format play, there's a lot of overlap there. No, Nexus is nothing like Splinter Twin. I don't think that needed to be a timeout, man. We can talk. We can be less aggressive with the timeouts now that we're in sub-only mode. So, like, Splinter Twin, the biggest difference between Splinter Twin and Eggs, for people who aren't familiar, is that Eggs is a deck where you have to sit there with the uncertainty in misery, waiting to find out if you actually lose the game. Whereas Splinter Twin, when they put their combo into play, you lose. The Nexus deck isn't just a 2-card combo. It isn't Nexus of Fate plus Wilderness Reclamation, then you lose the game. You have to have Wilderness Reclamation, Nexus of Fate, and then these other cards to make sure you draw into these things consistently. There's a lot of moving parts that go into it. And there's that uncertainty while you sit there going, oh, I'm likely dead, but if I'm really competitive, I should sit here and wait to find out if they, like, hit their 20, 10, 5, whatever their failure rate is for the given position that they're in. That's the big difference. I didn't make this list. This is a viewer-submitted deck list. Yeah, there's a difference between being dead on board and having to wait for someone to cycle through their deck. Yep. That's the big difference. The big difference is the certainty through which you are dead. Someone asked about the difference between Tezzeret and a 4th Teferi. The 2 cards and the Tezzeret are cards that I'm not certain really fit into here. I'm a big fan of Karn in a lot of different shells, but without Treasure Map, he gets a lot worse. I'm not sure that he's good enough with just Dovin as more artifacts. Gully Seagull, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate you shipping your Bezo bucks this way this month. So, as far as, like, things I'm interested in maybe changing in this deck, I feel like the Tezzeret and the Karn slots are possible things I could swap out. I think not having Lyras in here is probably a bit of a miss. That card's really good against aggro, especially in conjunction with Seraph. Yeah, I kind of felt that way too, Quicks. Rather than say, hey, we messed up, they doubled down and we're like, no, these are fine. It's whatever. In the scope of it, Nexus isn't probably as powerful as KCI was, so we've at least got that going for us, I suppose. Well, that's not true, Garden Variety Troll. If you look at the previous standard format, there were plenty of... If you look at the previous standard format, there were plenty of fringe combo decks. The difference is that this Nexus in this format is a tier 1 deck that obnoxious. Like, if you go back and watch us play Esper Amulet and other things like that, they were sweet, but they were sweet because they were fringe. It wasn't something that you played constantly. The Cars Father, thank you. The Scar Father, thank you for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. You said there's no Lyras because you don't own any. Okay, I might make that swap after this then. History's not a bad draw. Nasifer DMT, I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for coming back around. Thanks for the Prime support.
I will gladly point out your inadequacies. I stand on the shoulders of giants.
Yep. Okay. A Knight's actually a pretty okay draw here because it'll get pumped by History of Benalia next turn, so next turn I'll get to attack for 12 with these. What are my thoughts on the price points that revealed cosmetics yesterday? I think as far as cosmetics are concerned, they should charge whatever money they think people are willing to pay. I think optional extra things that you don't need to be competitive can and should gouge players. They should make them something that makes them money and makes them expensive enough that they're not everybody's going to have them, so that way they're actually special when you invest in them. I just tuck in the Phoenix here. I'm gonna plus Dovin. I think I'm gonna leave one of these back. Maybe I'm supposed to leave two. Maybe I'm supposed to just not attack with any of them. Because now I guess any removal spell lets them kill my Teferi. But if they kill my Teferi, they're dead on board, right? So it's like kind of a wash. I guess most of their removal spells just straight up kill Teferi anyway, so like leaving things back to protect him is maybe not amazing. If they run off a couple of cantrips here and flip their Phoenix back into play, we could be in trouble. It's like if they Discovery into a... Yep, okay. They have to draw another cantrip naturally here. They binned 2 twice. That is a great rip. Violet Journey, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. So they can kill Teferi if they want here. They attack both into him. But then I'm cracking them down to 1 on the backswing, and I'm at 26, and Dovin making another blocker. Can Charbelcher be good, is a better question.
Really should have seen that coming.
Put another lethal attacker into play for next turn. They trade off there. Yeah, it's possible that my attack with the Thopters 2 turns ago was bad. Maybe I should have gone all or none, like attacked with everything or attacked with nothing. Someone's trying to talk you into playing Belcher at the NRG event. It's really bad. You should only play Belcher at the NRG event if you have no interest in winning and just want to like be able to get lunch. Unless they have, like, land, main deck, Fiery Cannonade, we should be good here. Nah, I think even if you're super lucky, there's much better decks that you could be playing in Legacy to leverage that variance in your favor. This is a matchup where Ajani's not very good, just because he's going to be a little bit hard to protect, and, like, the payoff, even when you protect him, isn't that high. Or Dredge, Burn, Belcher, or Stay Home. Legacy is silly. I'd play Burn. Burn is bad against bad decks, but it's okay against the good decks. If those are your choices, I'd play Burn. I think this is fine. Bring in the extra Contempt, bring in the cast downs. I think I want to leave my 2s just so I have significant pressure. They're the primary way we close games out, right? Yeah, green black midrange is very expensive. That's great, ad nauseum. In my opinion, if you choose to register Mother of Runes in Legacy, you deserve to die on turn 1 every time. Yep, phased out. That's why I slid my overlay around so people could see that at a glance. Hey, Be Rich, thanks for the Prime support. Thanks for keeping me around. Alright, a 2-drop's not terrible here. Let's go 2-drop into Godless Shrine. Worth noting, Tithe Taker and a Goblin Electromancer kind of balance each other out. I think I'm the control deck in this matchup, so I'm going to be a little bit defensive here with my play. I'm going to, like, not to attack with Tithe Taker, because if they, like, kill my Knight of Malice at end of turn, I still want to block her back to block this Electromancer. What is in their hand? They just like flooding? They discarded a land to the Card Course. They didn't have like a Disdainful Stroke or any removal spells there. Well, thanks for being here and thanks for the support, Craftfather. So this turn, I think I want to just Contempt this and smack them for 9. Well, I know I said earlier, it feels like we're a more controlling role in this matchup. I feel like the way their draw has lined up this game, it's actually put us on the offense. So, I think I want to do that. I think I'd rather Contempt than Teferi, because if I play Teferi, I can't activate Vigilance on this, which means they just kill Teferi on the backswing, which isn't great. I mean, they're not guaranteed dead, chat. If they have an opt, they're not dead because Goblin Electromancer counters Tithe Taker. I think I actually wanna Teferi tuck the Mystic and then attack with everything. I think I Teferi, because if I tuck the Mystic, it means they're less likely to make birds next turn. And it also means that my ground creatures can attack. And it leaves me a mana to give Seraph Vigilance. If I get Spell Pierced, I feel pretty rancid, though. Maybe I'm just supposed to cast down the Mystic. Yeah, I'm probably just supposed to... I kind of want to get the Teferi into play, is the reason why I'm doing this, to be mana efficient. But I guess I could also just cast down plus Seraph this turn. Man, do we have Dive Down? No Dive Down, just Opt. Okay. Yeah, maybe cast down the Mystic Seraph is better. Because it puts another 4-power flyer into play, which is appealing. Because they're at 4, so like every 4-power flyer is lethal. It's like better against Lava Coil, because then I have 2 4-power flyers next turn. They're going to 1 here. Okay, I mean, going to 1 seems decent for us. Like, I have 3 lethal threats in play right now then. And I have this cast down in my hand. Alright, so what you got? They have a lot of mana. Yep. Yep. They have a Lava Coil here. If they have a Lava Coil. Wow, we're actually gonna lose. That's brutal. So what, I need to draw a Mortify or a Vraska's Contempt here? Oh, they're killing the token and not Teferi. That's so good for me. That gives us... Oh, then they're gonna kill the Teferi on the attack here. Alright, so need a removal spell for Div to win. Woof. Yeah, I messed this up. If I'd have cast down the Mystic and played the Angel, we'd have won through this. I think that was just better in general, and it's definitely much better against Niv. I guess I could hope their hand is just garbage. A good chance we're dead here, though. When someone says the good old days in regards to Magic, what's the first card you think of? So, like, my playing Magic kind of went in stages. So, like, my early life was just playing, like, super casual Magic with friends in, like, our basements doing drafts. And then, like, I started playing Magic competitively with New Phyrexia in 2012, 2013. So, like, how many instants and sorceries do you have? Because you're, like, dealing damage and, yeah, okay, yeah, that's unbeatable. I don't have any reach in my deck, right? Yeah, I think I definitely punted that game. If I'd have gone cast down into Seraph the turn I played the Teferi, we definitely would have come out on top. I think I'm happy with how I'm sideboarded overall. Let's just play a little bit better in this next one. Yeah, and this is why, like, mid-range, like, we just got off playing the mono white aggro deck, and decks like this are just like ones that I enjoy playing a lot more because there's a lot more play to them. There's a lot more, like, we look back on a lot of the mono white matchups, we just go, well, our draw was bad and we died, or their draw was good and we died, or our draw was good and we won, etc. Whereas like here, I'm able to like look back on that game and reflect and be like, oh, I had sequencing decision on this turn that like I could have reprioritized my removal spells better to like leave me out to things that I wasn't thinking of. And like that's really what I'm looking for to get out of games of Magic. It's like that ability to like look back and reflect and learn. That's what I'm looking to do. Looking to get better, make decisions. Hey, Grigopher, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Hope you're having a good one wherever you're at. Welcome, welcome. Every so often, I get a blast of nostalgia when looking at Urza Saga's cards, the borders and mana symbols, and then it's gone. It's like when you smell something familiar only, and then it's gone. The standard was really bad during Urza's, right? Like Urza Saga, that was like what's referred to as combo winter, right? Arbiter, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Oh, this hand might be a little bit too slow, but like if we draw an untapped land on 2, this hand's absurd. And if we just draw any lands, it's probably fine. Perfect. It might be right to lead on Tithe Taker so I can play history around Spell Pierce easier. It's close. I think it's pretty likely they tap out on 2, though. I'd rather this die than my Tithe Taker die. My work today is kind of like a Nexus deck. A lot of inconsistent dirtling that does not seem to have any endgame or purpose. Oh. Getting a lava coil out of them there is really good for us. Means they're less likely to have one for the Seraph. Oh, I love giving history lessons. Alright, if they don't have a cannonade here, this game should be mostly done. And this is why these aggressively slanted mid-range decks are some of my favorite to play with. Because like matches like this where like we do have draws where we just get to run them over, but we also have games like the previous one where like I had a lot of sequencing decisions and like had choices to be making. So like if they don't have a sweeper here, they're gonna get got real good. Do you have 2 pieces of spot removal, or are you taking 8 next turn? Alright, they're only taking 4, but we got another lava coil out of them, right? I think I'm actually just gonna go double Tithe Taker here to further incentivize them to burn lava coils before I stick the Seraph. This adds the same amount of power to the table, but I'd much rather these things get lava coiled than this get lava coiled. Just in case they have a third. Lights A5, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Hope you're having a good one. All I do at work is watch your stream until a customer comes. Well, God bless. That's the good life. Alright. I'm dead to you. Do-do-do-do-do. Dunk, dunk, dunk. I like getting to play a Dovin deck with 12 2-drops in it. Or around about 12 2-drops. Had to remedy that. God bless. The sub-only chat is a good reminder for letting people know when their prime is up. I'm gonna cut these planeswalkers. I feel like Karn just isn't good enough without the treasure map package to support him. And I feel like Lyra is just too good in too many matches in this format to not be playing a bunch of them. Like this curve looks really pretty now. And aesthetically pleasing is important. I like these planeswalkers that we have left. These these two are able to apply pressure nicely, but also generate card advantage sometimes, and Teferi as well. Teferi. This opens me up for another slot in the sideboard. I kinda don't mind getting a Mortify in here, huh? I think that would probably be okay. Part of me wonders if these Thought Erasures are better than Disdainful Stroke. Well, thanks for being here, Upper. Hope you're having a good one. Thanks for the support. Like, am I going to purchase any aesthetics? Nah, probably not. We play too many different decks here. Maybe a card sleeve, maybe a sleeve back if there's one I really like, because that one I could use on all the different decks that we play. Some number of Tocatli Honor Guard could be good. It feels weird to play a white deck that doesn't get impacted by Tocatli Honor Guard and not be playing Honor Guard ourselves. Been enjoying the Rakdos aggro deck on your website. Thanks for everything you do. Well, thanks for the 6 months, Sandals. Welcome back. I kind of feel like I think I'd rather have some strokes here in the board. And I think I want at least a couple of Tocatli. It's good against the red deck too, which is nice. I have a lot of respect for the red deck. Let's try this. I wonder if I want the last Mortify in the 75. Yeah, I'm gonna put the last Mortify. Because I'm trimming discard spells, so having extra way to destroy enchantments against the Reclamation deck sounds good. When will I be able to purchase my Jester of Hooglandia card backs in Arena? Almost certainly never. Hand's a little awkward, but again, if it hits an untapped land on 2, it's great. And if it just hits any other lands, it's like, okay. I think this is a fine keep on the play. Never didn't have it. That is, it's a touch awkward because it's not a second white for history, but it does at least get us to spell this turn. Thoughts on Hostage Taker in the 75? I'm not sure we have a problem that Hostage Taker is solving. What matchup do we envision we're having an issue in that Hostage Taker is great in? We could get lightning struck here.
See in yourself what I see in you.
That is a reason to power up the Tithe Taker. Unfortunate. Land is not the worst draw here because it does let me get Dovin going.
Maybe yours will hold.
Look how far you've come.
So I think I want to power up the Knight of Grace so that way it can eat this inside of combat if they attack, and I have this to chump block with here. Yep. I think I just trade here and let him go to 1, and the next turn Dovin can down tick and Ajani can up tick. That's unfortunate.
On the shoulders of giants.
Leech, thanks for the Prime support. Hope you're having a good one. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Yikes. Really need like a Lyra or a Seraph here. One of our kind of go over the top cards. There's good attack on the opponent's part there, choosing to send the trample creature at the Dovin since I couldn't jump block to save it. Yeah, they've definitely had a good mix of interaction, and like they've drawn 4 lands and we've drawn what, 7 now? It's just, you know, unfortunate, but it's part of what it is.
This outcome surprises even me.
Alright, so this is a matchup where Tithe Taker leaves a bit to be desired because of Chain Whirler and their other creatures that outclass it. Cast Down is good, Contempt is fine, Mortify is fine. Pretty easy in and out there. I like the rest of what we have going on. Just a reminder for folks that Tocatli Honor Guard does not shut down Riot, so it's not worth bringing in here. I don't think Moment of Craving is good enough. Cast Down Mortify Contempt should be good. Yeah, Tocatli shuts down Whirly Boys, but like, if you look at how I'm sideboarding, Chain Whirler's not actually that good against me. I feel like shutting down that card like isn't something super meaningful. Jeskai aggro was really mediocre. We had a lot of bad draws, and the aggro decks don't really give you a lot of control over how your games play out. It's kind of like hope they do their thing. Well, our opening hand was really good. And then we never drew a 4th land. Any reason to hold Mortify? If I hold the Mortify, my opponent has a chance to make a thing. Alright, I mean, they're also not doing a whole lot, so we got that going for us. At least we drew a castable spell there instead of another 4 or 5. They didn't play like a dragon or a phoenix, and they didn't shock or kill my...
These results are an anomaly, not to be repeated.
Well, you can Mortify after the pump stopies, but, like, there's no guarantee that they pump it there. If, let's say I pass the turn, let's say I pass the turn to them with the Mortify up, and like they don't pump it right away, and then I go to kill it at end of turn, and then they activate it at end of turn, then they get another Growth Chamber Guardian out of it. So if they play it right, they get to get around it basically. I mean, they passed with like 5 lands and no plays, so like it makes sense that their hand is just a bunch of answers, right? I mean, like their hand either had to be a bunch of removal spells or lands. So I'm doing this now because I don't want them to be able to adapt in response to get another Growth Chamber Guardian. Maybe they're finally out of Lava Coils and Lightning Strikes. If they're not, we're gonna be in trouble. Hey, next day. Thanks for the tier 1 sub. Hope you're having a good one. Welcome, welcome. This is actually an incredibly good draw because Ajani is gonna pump it up to 4 power first strike. Yeah, I mean, that's how Magic goes. Sometimes they have all the things. Sometimes they have all the things and you die. We're dead to Shock and Collision Colossus. I guess I'm not strictly dead to Shock if I do this.
I still need you.
Hey, gotta dodge Dragon Hellkite. Oh, it takes my first strike away, my third power away too. They're really close.
I will lend you my strength.
This is the part where they top deck Collision Colossus and kill us. Alright. You're saying there's a chance. They're actually dead pretty quickly here, right?
Strength is born of struggle.
They're dead. They're dead next turn if they draw one more brick here. Okay. Yeah, gotta dodge dragons and reach. We're trying to dodge a lot here.
Only the best.
Alright, this means we're not dead to dragons. I think it's right to let them jump here so I can kill dragons. I know it's an interesting discussion because now they have 2 turns, whereas otherwise I'd be killing them next turn. think I'm supposed to do this and just have them dead in one more turn. I think there's a good chance I should have just killed the Dire Fleet last turn. Because if I'd have killed the Dire Fleet last turn, they'd have died to this turn. I think I made a mistake there at the end, and I should have. I should have played that a little bit differently. Our Planeswalker was really good at the end, so that's nice. I don't think I want Moment of Craving. Maybe I do want it on the draw. Growth Chamber Guardian's like really good on the draw. Dovin was kind of middling there. If I do this. I don't think I hate that. I wonder if the way our selection is at the moment, I wonder the way our spells are set up, we just have a very small blue splash. I almost want to cut a blue source for a Memorial to Folly so we can get a utility land in our mana base. Oh. My lands deal a lot of damage to me. Knight of Grace just gets outclassed. I think I'm supposed to mulligan this. They're all a shit show, Jensen. They're all, it's just not, it's just bad. It's bad regardless how you slice it. And then London Mulligan win, right? In the words of the greatest poet of our generation, you just gotta shake it off and roll along to the next one. Alright, that's a good one. Let's just actually curve out here a little. Probably a Reclamation deck, so let the misery commence. Hey, good games, Navier. Good luck in the rest of your matches today.
On your impending failure.
So if I plus this, he goes to 5. If I down tick this, he goes to 1, and then next turn he goes to 6. I think I want to start plussing him. I think I want to try and get to a Mortify ASAP. If they hit land Niv, we need to draw a land for our Vraska's Contempt. This is a matchup where they have Fiery Cannonade in their main deck usually, so that's not good for us. Which removal spells do you have? God bless us, everyone. We did it. So that cleans my board out next turn in the event they have Fiery Cannonade, but I do get to ult this Dovin, which is nice. We've been playing this for about 45 minutes.
You are no match for my foresight.
Teferi. A land, a Tithe Taker. I think I just do this because it puts lethal into play if they brick. Lets me hold up Mortify for Reclamation too. Again, like, this is like a little annoying, but it's like they're not actually doing anything with these turns. They don't have Search for Escanta. They're not drawing extra cards. Yep. Just spinning their tires, being annoying. Nexus of Fate's only banned in best of 1. So we usually play best of 3 on this channel. So they banned Nexus in best of 1 because they probably don't want the crapshoot that is Nexus of Fate to happen at the Invitational next weekend. So it'd probably be bad for their first big digital tournament if they had to explain like why people were sitting there looping Nexuses. No, the invitational tournament was people that Wizards invited to it, as well as eight people that qualified from the ladder. That's really unfortunate. So if there's someone in chat that's suggesting we Mortify in response there, that's not how this works. This card has 2 targets, so it still targets the player. A spell is only countered upon resolution if all of its targets are lost.
Small things that matter.
Do I Ajani and put them to 1? Like, what are the odds they can't kill me with 8 cards? Probably just doesn't matter. It's like Story of playing against Nexus of Fate. Probably just doesn't matter. I think I want to just leave up Mortify. I think if we have a chance to not be dead here, it involves leaving up Mortify. I think the actual answer is that it's irrelevant and we're dead regardless, but the upside to putting them to 1 is it means that why jam Teferi? What is putting Teferi into play? Change? Yeah, this is game 1 of a best of 3. You can tell what game we're on by looking at the pips. Alright, so now I Mortify this, they sabotage me, they untap their lands, they kill me. The little dots next to my name. So that's the reason why I moved my overlay around. If you look at the little dots next to my name, it shows you what current match we're on. or what current game we're on in a match. So I want the Mortify, I want the Disdainful Strokes, the Negates. Ajani's probably too slow. Although he can get my things out of Fiery Cannonade range, which is kind of appealing. Dovin digging is pretty reasonable. Oh, Lily Pad, thanks for the 12 months. Sorry about that. I'm kind of out of it this morning. It's been kind of a tough morning for playing Standard. Need to cut 3 more cards. Got the Teferi's. No, I think Teferi's great. Teferi generates card advantage to help us find the cards we actually care about hitting. And Teferi is a 5-drop. Teferi requires 5 lands to put into play, but he's not really a 5-drop, right? Like, he's a card that you play him and then still get to hold up a Negate or a Disdainful Stroke that turn. Emotionally taxing is a great descriptor, Detroit Lion. You have a bunch of Curl Harpooners, opponent. Might as well attack here. We have to get through these at some point. Why? What is it? What meaningful things does it discuss, Chuck, that we haven't already talked about here on stream before? Rekindling Phoenix out of the sideboard of these Wilderness Reclamation decks has been really good. So we talk, I mean, like, but you didn't, like, that's a little bit of a sell, I guess, but, like, how is it different than the things we talk about here, other than it's high variance, don't take it seriously, take a break, etc. Like, is there, as someone who could potentially want to listen to it, what is the meaningful takeaway? What types of, are there things like that? Like, what are the meaningful things that you stand to learn? Give me the TLDR as a potential listener, why it's worth my time to spend an hour. The red-green poly runner a combo deck? I don't think it's technically infinite, but it makes a bunch of poly runners theoretically. Why does Godless Shrine not count as a white permanent? So lands are all colorless. They make colors of mana, but they are technically colorless. Oh, I should have played this pre-combat right. Yeah, unless a land explicitly says it has a color, it's colorless. Actually. Stop it, Magic players. I get it. You're technically correct. There's a land that has a color. It's not relevant here, and it says that on the card. Alright, we're like actually just like losing this race to these stupid harpooner, aren't we? I think I'm gonna be done for the day. I'm just not feeling it. It's been like a miserable day for Magic, and we ran late yesterday. I'll run late tomorrow. I'm gonna like go to the gym and like run for a while. Well, the party bus, the red green poly runner deck will be first up tomorrow. I don't know that I really have anything solid input to give on this deck. I like the idea of it. It looks like it's playing a bunch of very reasonable cards. I feel like we hit a lot of bad streaks, and I don't know that I have meaningful feedback based on the games that we played. Be luckier is a solid investment. I'll catch all y'all around later. Everybody have a good one. See you tomorrow morning. Who's streaming? Standard. Anyone?